All right, what's happening, everybody? Welcome to the Easy Money and Sports Betting Show, Monday, February 20th, 2023. Got a decent slate of games. Got a little bit of college basketball and some NHL. I don't think there's any NBA till like Wednesday.
I think it's Thursday.
Is it Thursday? I was going to say Wednesday or Thursday, one of the two. Uh, so sports this week, a little lighter than usual because of NBA All-Star break. That we had over the weekend. I know you have some XFL on Thursday as well. Comes back. If you missed that over the weekend, I thought opening weekend in the XFL was good. I enjoyed it.
I think people should check it out, especially if you've never checked out XFL before. They have some different rules, some different features that the NFL doesn't have. For example, like the replays are very quick, and they show you everything with the replay. The guy in the booth, they're showing the replay, what they're talking about. It's pretty interesting. The calls of the call, you get to hear all the calling of the plays. There's a lot of different features. Also, when they get down to extra points, you can go for, I believe if I remember right, 1 point, 2 point, or 3 points, and that's interesting. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I watched 3 of the 4 games. Wasn't able to watch one of the games because we were busy doing something, but on the air. But 3 out of the 4 games are real entertaining that we got to see. I know the 3 we seen were all pretty good games, and I know one guy said today that he said that a little concerned because the scoring wasn't as high, but they hadn't played for a long time, and I think the scoring will get better.
Yeah, I did too.
And still, I don't have a problem when the games are close, 22-20 and stuff. I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah, I think you'll see some scoring go up as the season moves along as well. All right, how's it going, Frankie?
It's Frankie. Frankie, what are you doing? Pissing everybody off on the afternoon show? They're getting mad and leaving.
But no, like I said, I enjoyed the XFL this weekend.
Yeah,
It was
I like it a lot.
It was something. It was some sports to watch, more football to watch. I'm a football fan, like watching football, so it was nice to have that, especially with. I don't watch a whole lot of NBA till they get mad at me for being professional. I don't watch a lot of NBA till it gets toward the playoffs. So with it being the All-Star weekend, I don't watch a whole lot of NBA All-Star. It's not the same to me as it used to be. A lot of the All-Star, and it's not just NBA. A lot of the All-Star games are like that anymore. None of them are great. I think baseball probably has the best one still, just because it's the closest to a regular game. You see what they're doing in the NFL with the Pro Bowl, and you see what NBA, this new format they went to the last few years.
Hockey's not too bad, but I know you're not a huge hockey fan. It's not too bad.
Yeah, I haven't. I've heard a lot of people say that, but I haven't watched a lot of the of hockey, so that's the only reason that I didn't make. Hey, damn dogs want to kill each other already. We just started. Real quick before we get started, if you didn't watch the ASAP Afternoon Blitz earlier, or you haven't been on ASAP social media, the new TV app has launched. You can find us now at the Google Play Store, mobile TV app, also on Roku, and then also on Amazon. So if you have an Android phone, go check out the Google Play Store. Check out the new ASAP mobile app. You can watch all of our shows on there. We appreciate the support, so please go over and check out that new app. We're excited that finally got it going. I'm going to check it out more here in just a little bit after we get done with the show. Like I said, we don't got a big slate of games today. Got some college basketball and hockey are the main two sports we have, main two slates that we have today. College basketball. We'll go ahead and start there. There's a few. I got a few games I like. You have UC San Diego versus UC Davis. UC Davis is 8.5 point favorite. They're minus 430 on the money line. Over unders at 142.5. You also have Louisville at Duke. Duke is an 18.5-point favorite at home, minus 3,500 on the money line. I actually like Louisville here at the plus 18.5. Duke wins this game, but I think 18.5 points are just too many points. So I like Louisville at the plus 18.5 in that game. Oklahoma State and the West Virginia. West Virginia is a 5.5-point favorite in this game. Over under, or excuse me, West Virginia's 5.5-point favorite, minus 240 on the money line. Oklahoma State's plus 195 on the money line. Over unders at 144.5. I like Oklahoma State at the plus 5.5 in this game. Then you also have Howard against Morgan State. Howard's a 6.5-point favorite on the road against Morgan State. North Carolina Central at Maryland Eastern Shore. North Carolina Central is a 2.5-point favorite. They're minus 138 on the money line. Maryland Eastern Shore is a plus 115 underdog at home. Coppin State at Norfolk State. Norfolk State's a 15.5-point favorite at home. Minus 1,600 on the money line. So Norfolk State big favorites in that game. Over-unders at 154.5. South Carolina State at Delaware State. Delaware State's a 2.5-point favorite. They're minus 137 on the money line. Over-unders at 146.5. You have Hawaii at Cal State Bakersfield. Hawaii's a 6.5-point favorite. Over-unders at 120.5. Really don't have a whole lot of like big school matchups tonight.
Had Kansas and TCU tonight.
Bethune-Cookman at Alabama State. Alabama State's a 3.5-point favorite. Over-unders at 141.5.
Duke plays tonight, don't
they? Yes.
Duke and Louisville.
Florida A&M at Alabama A&M. Alabama A&M's 8.5-point favorite. Over-unders 128.5. Number 3, Kansas at number 25, TCU. TCU's a 2.5-point favorite at home, minus 134 on the money line. Kansas is plus 112 on the money line. TCU blew Kansas out earlier in the season at Kansas. TCU has been on a losing streak, but they had some injuries. They are healthy. Got their guys back. I like TCU here at the minus 1.5 at home. Missouri Valley State against Prairie View A&M. Prairie View is a 10.5-point favorite. Over-under is 131.5. Big Ten matchup, Minnesota at Illinois. Illinois is a 14.5-point favorite. Illinois is, I think, on a 3-game losing streak. Minnesota's on like a 9-game losing streak. I like Minnesota at the plus 14.5. I think Illinois wins this game, but I think it's going to be a closer game than 14.5 points. Most of these Big Ten matchups are pretty close games. He said, "Watch the language of kicking you out of GSR." Just kidding. Cal State Fullerton, UC Santa Barbara. Santa Barbara's a minus 5.5 point favorite. Over-under is 128.5. You got UC Irvine at Cal Poly. You got a lot of the Cal schools playing each other today.
Yep.
Minus 10.5. UC Irvine's a minus 10.5 point favorites. Over-unders at 130.5. And then you got UC Riverside at Cal State Northridge, with Riverside being a 7.5 point favorite. Games I like for tonight in college basketball. I like TCU at the minus 1.5 against Kansas. Like I said, when TCU was healthy, they were on a good run. Then they had some injuries, kind of fell off. They beat Kansas by like 23 points earlier in the season. Kansas is a good team, don't get me wrong. I think it's going to be a close game, but I like TCU get the victory at home. I like Louisville at the plus 18.5 against Duke. I think Duke wins the game, but I think 18.5 is just too many points. I think Louisville covers. Oklahoma State at the plus 5.5 against West Virginia. I think Oklahoma State covers there. I think that's going to be a real close game. And then the last game I like is Minnesota at the plus 14.5 on the road at Illinois. I think Illinois wins this game. Illinois has lost, like I said, I think their last 3 or 4. Minnesota's lost like their last 8 or 9. But we watch a lot of Big Ten, and a lot of these Big Ten games are pretty close. You don't see a whole lot of blowouts between in conference games. So I like Minnesota here at the plus 14.5. That's going to be my college basketball picks for today. That's actually all the picks I have for today. You have some hockey games. I know Dad will give out some NHL, but I don't watch enough NHL to really give out picks on it.
Okay, I'll do my college basketball parlay for tonight. I got Coppin State at Norfolk State. I'll take Norfolk State minus 15.5. I've got Hawaii minus 6 at Cal State Bakerfield. And then I'm going the opposite of Chris. I'm taking Kansas the money line win over TCU. They're going to get revenge tonight. So. And then my NHL, I've got Philadelphia at Calgary. I'm going to take the over 6 goals in that one. I'm going to take New York Islanders at Pittsburgh. I'm going to take the over 6 in that one. And then I'm going to take the Winnipeg Jets at the New York Rangers. And I'm going to take the over 6 in that one. So I'm going to take over 6 in all 3 of those from a parlay in the NHL. What was the best feature you liked about the XFL?
Oh man, I'd like all the live mics, getting to hear the play calling. You get to hear defense coordinator calling in the play, the offense coordinator. You can also hear the quarterbacks a little more than what you can in the NFL. And then also, I like the way the replay worked. Most of the replays that we saw took like 30 to 40 seconds instead of in the NFL, where sometimes seems like it takes 5 minutes or longer. And I like it how on the replays that you get to hear how they come to their decision. Where like in the NFL, they either come back and say it was confirmed or overturned or stands. Where there was even an incident in the last game we watched last night where a player threw a punch. Yep. And before they just ejected the guy, they went back, reviewed it, made sure that what she thought she saw was what she saw, and that it warranted being ejected and everything. So I thought I like that. The conversions was different. I like that because a couple of the games we saw were like 9-point deficits with 2 minutes left in the game, and you're not out of it because if you get a touchdown, and then you can go for that 3-point conversion from the 10-yard line to tie the game back up.
Well, one team was down about 15 points with about 3 minutes left and come back and win the game. It was very, very exciting the way they did. I enjoyed it. I mean, I'm not saying it's the NFL. I'm not trying to compare it to that. You shouldn't compare it to that. But I thought it's sports. I like sports, and I thought it was very entertaining.
But one of my favorite things of the weekend was the DC fans throwing lemons on the field.
They were around the crowd.
That was, like I told you, I've watched football for years. I've never seen lemons get thrown out the field like that. They should have took the beer snake away.
That's right.
So I enjoyed it. Like I said, I watched 3 out of the 4 games. Didn't watch the one Saturday night because we was watching Elimination Chamber. We done a watch along for it, so we were live, so we didn't get to watch the XFL game that night. And that was the only game that really wasn't a close game.
I think that the game we missed. I think the one team, the Houston team, is probably going to be the best team. I know coming in, a lot of people thought the team we watched last night, which ended up coming up to win, St. Louis, was the favorite. But
their offense didn't look very good yesterday. Which I look for the offenses to get better as the games go on, because they only had like 5 weeks to get ready, and a lot of the teams didn't do no really like hitting and live stuff because they didn't want to get nobody hurt and stuff. So I think as you get into a couple more weeks, you're going to see the even better play. Houston was the couple of years ago before it got shut down with COVID, when the XFL came back, the 2.0. Houston was the best team. Yep. I know these teams are different.
Yeah.
But I mean, they were the best team then. I think they were 4 or 5-0 before the league got shut down.
Yeah, they were.
They had PJ Walker, who was looking like he was going to be the league MVP. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not sure who their quarterback is this year because I didn't get to watch that game that night, Saturday night. So, but they got a game Thursday night, so or not Houston, but there's the XFL game Thursday night, so I'll watch that Thursday night.
That's on FX.
they have one on Saturday and 2 Sundays. So going into the, week 2, they did announce that the championship game is going to be in San Antonio, Texas, which San Antonio had just under like I think it was like 27,000 fans there yesterday for their game. DC had a rowdy crowd, so I'm seemed like it got off to a good start. It really did. Hopefully, they keep it up. I haven't seen like the TV rating, how they done viewership wise. Hopefully, it got viewed pretty good. Because, I mean, if you're a fan of football, I mean, it's more football to watch. So, I know you got the USFL starting in April. Not too much of it's going to overlap the way they're doing it. Yeah. So it's going to be interesting.
Also tonight, real quick, Monday Night Raw might be a good one to watch. They're still going to be in Canada. Just did some reading, the rumor that Trish Stratus is going to be there tonight. I think they're going to be setting some up for WrestleMania. Also, people, if they didn't watch the press conference, Austin Theory said he was going to put out an open challenge. And during the press conference, after he left during the press conference, Edge accepted that challenge. And so it's going to be Edge and Austin Theory for the belt. So it might be interesting to see where they're going with that. So that might be a pretty good show. I know Elimination Chamber was a good show. So.
And I'm sure there's going to be some fallout from Elimination Chamber that'll be on the night.
Still going to be in Canada. I would think that we're going to see Sammy tonight. Sammy.
Yeah, I'd be surprised. I'd be surprised if we didn't, being that they're still in Canada.
So basically Kevin Owens also. So should be a good show to watch tonight.
And not only that, you're 6 weeks away from WrestleMania. So
about 6 or 7. I think there's only 3 or 4 matches confirmed at this point. I think 3. But another 3 or 4 they're pretty sure about. So that means still about half the show. Well, not one show, but they have 2 shows. So still about half the thing still's got to be filled out. So should be interesting.
Oh yeah, I'll definitely be watching some of it tonight. Hell, there ain't a whole lot of other stuff sports wise on.
I've got a hockey game on.
I watch some college. I watch some college basketball, but I like watching IU. If I might watch some of that Big Ten game, the Illinois, Minnesota, or maybe some of the Kansas and TCU. I'll probably watch a couple of those games. Them are the ones I'll keep most eye on for tonight in college basketball. Them 2 games, Oklahoma State and West Virginia, probably pretty good, decent game as well. I know you said there was already some hockey games on because you were watching hockey.
They started at 1 and 4 and 7.
There's a bunch of hockey on today. That's a good time to be on, though, because the only other sport really on today is college basketball.
They do that a lot on President's Day, Martin Luther King Day, when there's like holidays. They play a lot of games on those Mondays at 1 o'clock and 4 o'clock for some reason.
I would think it's it should be a good idea because you got a lot more people at home. With some people having it off. Frankie says Bruins, baby. I think you picked the over in that game, didn't you?
I didn't.
No, it wasn't the Bruins. It was the New York teams.
Yep. I took the over in both of those. Team, yep.
Yeah, I know. Frankie watches the Bruins a lot. I don't know. A live hockey game. Yep. I like going to live hockey game. I just haven't been able to get into it as much on TV. I watch it sometimes, but not regularly enough to keep up with it.
I know since the All-Star break, my team's got hot again. Vegas, they had a little bit of a lull, but they're in first place in their division and starting to play real well again.
Westbrook signing with the Clippers, or plans to sign with the Clippers.
That surprised you at all, or?
Yeah. I'd heard the Bulls. I don't know. It surprised me a little bit just because you're putting Westbrook and George back together, and it didn't. Oh, Colts are hiring Jim Bob Cooter as offensive coordinator. I knew that was one of the names that had been mentioned over the last few days.
You like that?
Yeah, like his name. I mean, he's been around as offensive coordinator and different offensive coaching positions for a while. So uh, I think it's a good move.
So Houston's the new college basketball #1. Jay will be happy.
Oh yeah, I'm surprised Jay didn't mention that during the show. He talked about it a little bit pre-show, so I thought he was going to mention it during the show, but he never did. And usually, anytime he can talk about Texas, he's going to get that in there.
Texas is 8, Baylor 9.
Yeah, I didn't see what IU was. They were 14th. They're probably right around 14th still because they won, but Illinois wasn't a ranked team either, and you and you kind of got lucky to win that game. They didn't play great that game, but they pulled out the win. And in Big Ten play, that's them teams beat up on each other. So
Yeah,
if you can get a win, a win's a win in the Big Ten.
I just want them to get hot and be ready for the tournament.
Well, talking like Johnson's getting ready to come back, so that'll really help us.
That'll definitely help.
I know during that game they were saying that they thought he might was going to start practicing this week and moving some on that knee. So we get him back, that really helped us because that's when we started struggling some was losing him.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And I think it helped us in a way because that freshman Hood Shavino is really got some valuable playing time and some experience. So
he's played pretty well too.
Yeah, he can get a little loose with the ball sometimes, but he's a freshman as well, so that's to be expected some. But all right, before we get out of here, on the year, I'm 106-97 on my picks. My picks for tonight, I just got some college basketball picks. TCU -1.5, Louisville +18.5, Oklahoma State +5.5, Minnesota +14.5. Did you want to go through your picks real quick?
Yeah, I can real quick. My college basketball parlay for tonight: Coppin State at Norfolk State. I got Norfolk State -15.5. I got Hawaii -6 at Cal State Bakersfield, and I've got Kansas moneyline win at TCU. My NHL for today parlay is Philadelphia at Calgary over the 6. I got the New York Islanders at Pittsburgh over the 6, and I got Winnipeg at the New York Rangers over the 6.
And then also, before we get out here, don't forget, go check out the new ASAP mobile app. You can find it on at the Google Play Store on Google. Find it on Amazon. So if you have a Fire Stick, you can find it on Amazon there on the apps, and you can also find it on Roku. So go check that out. You can find the links. I don't have the link pulled up here, but you can find the link at All Sports All Plays Network Facebook page. The links are on there. I've also shared the link on the GonzoSportsRoom social media pages as well. So go check out that new mobile TV app. We would everybody at the ASAP Network would greatly appreciate the support. I think this is going to be a pretty big deal for the network. So go check the app out. I'm gonna go check it out here in just a few minutes. From what I've heard, because when I found out that it was available today, I was getting ready to get on ASAP Afternoon Blitz. From what I've heard from everybody that's been on it, seem to really like it. So make sure you go check that app out. We'll be live tonight at 6:30 p.m. Eastern with GWR Gonzo's Wrestling Room, talking some we'll talk some old school wrestling, talk some Elimination Chamber,
independent,
and some independent wrestling. Marcus Fine will be joining us again tonight. So join us for that. Tomorrow at 5:00, we have an interview with Damian Michael Cole, pro wrestler. He's also a promoter and runs a wrestling school. It should be. Was really looking forward to this interview. It was supposed to be last week. Had a little miscommunication with it being Valentine's Day, so we had to move it to this Tuesday. But looking forward to that. Then on Wednesday we have pro wrestler Austin Casey joining us at 6:30. So that should be an interesting interview as well. And then also tonight at 11:00 we got GSR Gonzo Sports Room. We'll talk some XFL. We'll talk some NBA All-Star. We'll also talk some Monday Night Raw. So join us tonight for that. But we appreciate everybody joining us. We'll be back tomorrow at right around 3:30 with another episode of Easy Money, a sports betting show. But hope everybody has a great Monday, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.